Part 3 of the toxic relationship that began at age 14. So, we are not living together anymore. And, I'm legal. I'm 18. I really don't have no responsibilities because I'm back at my mama house and daddy house. So I'm hanging out with my friends more. And Gerald doesn't like this. So, he starts, but so we are, um, oh, I forgot a very, very crucial thing that happened while we were in the apartment. Let's back up. An incident that happened. I just remembered while we were at the park. I was thinking it happened when we weren't living together, but this particular incident happened while we were living together. Okay, so we were living together. We were at the apartment, and he goes out with his friends. I go out with my friends a particular night. And the area that we lived at had like a after hours spot where the young people, old people, it didn't matter. We all hung at this particular thing. It was like a juke joint. Let's just say it was like a juke joint. Okay. And we, me and my friends are in there. I know there's guys, there's girls, there's old people, there's everybody in there. So a guy that I knew, just knew him, um, he sits next to me and was talking to me. We just sitting there talking. We're just sitting there talking. Literally, we're just sitting there talking. And I can't even tell you what we were talking about. In walks Gerald. While the guy is sitting right here. In walks Gerald. We're living together. Gerald looks at me. And I looked at him. And I could see the look on his face. That he was not happy. So I'm playing it off. And the guy that I was talking to, he was a big dude. He was known, don't mess with him. So Joe didn't say anything. He just looked at me. He didn't say anything to him, but he looked at me. And I'm like, so I tell my friend, let's go, because, I saw the look on his face. Let's go. Let's leave. Um, we're walking out. I can't tell you where we were going, but we were leaving. So Joe sees us, because I'm guessing he's outside waiting on me to come out, and he's hot. So slapped me, slapped the hell out of me. And so, we start fussing. My friend starts fussing at him for hitting me. We all out there arguing. One of my cousins got word of what happened. So he comes over there and like goes ballistic on Gerald. And he's, taking his shirt off, like hit me, you know how guys do. And I'm just like, oh my God. So, funny thing is, Joe didn't have any smoke for him. His smoke was for me. He didn't say anything to my cousin. He didn't want to fight him. He didn't. But you know how guys like that are. Okay? So this happened. And so I'm like, okay. So my friend's like, you shouldn't go back to that apartment. Because if you go back to that apartment, he's going to beat the hell out of you. You need to go to your mama's house. Do not go back to that apartment. So we got in touch with my mom. And I go to my mom's house. No, we did not. I was like, I think I went home with her. I did not want to tell my mom. I did not want to tell my mom that Gerald hit me. That's right. I did not want to tell my mom that Gerald hit me. So I think I went back to my friend's house. So the next day, I go back to the apartment when I'm thinking Gerald had calmed down. And we're sitting there. And for some reason, we had made up. I don't know how we made up. And all of a sudden, somebody's boom, 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 boom on the door. And I don't know what just went out. Oh, that okay. All of a sudden, somebody's boom, 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 boom on the door. I'm like, who is that? Child, it was my mama. My friend done told her what happened. It was my mama. And she came with all the smoke. She came with all of it. She came with all the smoke for Gerald. She was wanting a piece of Gerald. And everybody in that apartment complex knew that she wanted a piece of Gerald because she went off. He didn't say anything. And then she went off on me for sitting there with him. This done put his hands on you. You sitting here like it's all love. Like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? She had smoke for me and Gerald. She did. She did. Shortly after, though, is when we got kicked out. So, yeah, that happened. So, where was I? We done got kicked out. I'm 18. He partying with his friends. I'm partying with my friends more. We seeing each other a little bit less. Okay. So, this particular night, we end up in one of his friends' basements. You know, we partying, we drinking, we doing whatever. And everybody's down there. He had chairs down there and everything. And I remember I'm a mess with Gerald. Gerald was up talking to one of his friends, but his chair was kind of in front of me, kind of. So I'm like, I'm gonna mess with him. I'm gonna move his chair back. So when he get ready to sit down, his chair ain't gonna be there. And everybody, hey. You know, it's gonna be fun. We down here chilling. So so I move the chair back, and Gerald gets ready to sit down, and he falls, and everybody's ha 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 ha, and he stands up, and I'm still sitting down. I'm laughing because everybody's laughing. Everybody thought it was funny. He's even laughing because his friends are laughing. He's like, ha ha ha. He gets his chair and he moves it, and he stands in front of me. He looks at me and goes, boom, right above my eye. And all I saw was blood. He punched me in my eye. And I jumped up when he punched me because, you know, by this time I'm fighting back. You know, I'm just not going to let you hit me. I'm fighting back. And his friends grabbed him and stuff. And no, my friends are like going crazy. Like, oh, shit. You know, he done busted your eye, girl. He done busted you in your shit. So they had to take me home bleeding, leaking. Brought me home leaking. 18. Brought me home leaking. Because he hit me so he had on rings. He hit me so hard but like I had to get stitches. He hit me that hard that I had to get stitches. And I go to my house leaking. And my friends and me are having to explain my parents. So by this time it's my mom and my dad. And my dad looked at my brothers and was like, him up and I'll get you out of jail. And my mom takes me to the emergency room and gets me stitches and threatens if I ever talk to him again, she's going to put stitches in my other eye. So I'm guessing Gerald knew what he did. And I think my oldest brother showed up at his house looking for him. And he wasn't there. And I remember he called me the next day and was like, you know, tell them I'm sorry. You know, I'm so sorry. He's, you know, crying to my mother, you know, tell him to leave me alone. You know, I'm not going to do that no more. I'll never put my hands on your daughter again. I was drunk. Da-da-da, 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 da-da-da. So, after that, I would see Joe every now and then, but it wasn't anything serious. Like, we would date here and there, here and there, here and there. And yeah, I kind of, after the Stitch thing, I was kind of over it, but I wasn't really over it. I can't tell you that I left him alone after that because I'm sure I didn't. I'm sure I didn't. But a little bit after that is when I met my son's father again. I ran into him at the mall. So I kind of left Gerald alone. Um, but yeah, even after that, like we would date other people. It was weird. We would date other people, and then in between the breakups, we would date each other. And then we would leave each other to date other people. And then when we break up with those people, we would get back together. It was strange. Very, very strange. But I said all that to say, a couple months ago, we're in our 40s now. We're knocking on 50 door. He probably is 50. He's about to turn. Yeah, he is 50. He's 50 because he's a year older than me. So he is 50. So, hadn't, uh, I haven't seen, I would see him. I remember, I could tell you the 3 times I have seen him. I saw him after I had my second son. He was like, "Oh, you had another baby? Well, Dad, how many kids you got?" Like he acted like I had a plethora of kids. I saw him um, at the unemployment office one time, and I saw him. I had my grandson at the mall. Okay, so before I tell you guys the funny thing that happened a couple months ago with Gerald, let me and tell you guys a story about what happened. All of this is just coming back to me, guys. So let's. After I came back from Kansas, okay, and I started seeing him again, and he's on house arrest, okay. I'm gonna tell you guys this. This is not funny, but it's funny. So this is gonna this is at 12 and a half minutes. So I'm gonna stop it and tell you guys what happened when I came back from Kansas and he was on house arrest, and then tell you the conclusion, okay? So this will be the conclusion after we get back.